Hello everyone, my name is Rohan and you are on TechVerse Solution YouTube channel. In this channel, we teach you about various career related skills and knowledge that will help you grow. So this video is going to be about the Microsoft Excel. This is the third video for our playlist and this is the part 1 of the 3 videos that we are going to post on the Excel itself. So, as previously mentioned already, we have knowledge about what is Excel, how do you use Excel, and is it still relevant in the today's world, especially at the time of AI. So, in this video, we are going to learn about the Excel interface and how to actually use Excel and manipulate data through it to get meaningful insights. We will go towards the basics and learn about various formulas in this video so that you can basically get a hang of it and start learning about the Excel itself. So without any waste, let's get right into it. ओके सो हमारे लिए एक्सेल का इंटरफेस कुछ इस तरह दिखेगा जहां पर काफी सारी रोज और कॉलम्स होती हैं सो एक्सेल में ओवरऑल 10,48,576 रोज होती हैं एंड सिमिलरली द नंबर ऑफ कॉलम्स आर 16,384 अभी हर एक रो और हर एक कॉलम का कॉम्बिनेशन एक सेल बनाता है हम जब उस सेल को सिलेक्ट करते हैं तो उस सेल के पास एक बाउंड्री आ जाती है जो कि कुछ इस तरह से दिखती है एक ग्रीन कलर की बाउंड्री होती है ये लेट्स जूम इट इन दिस इज हाउ अ बाउंड्री विल लुक लाइक अब एक्सेल के अंदर हमको काफी सारे कस्टमाइजेशन के फीचर्स मिल जाते हैं जहां पर हम इस सेल के अंदर जो भी इंफॉर्मेशन लिखें लेट्स से ए बी सी डी इज व्हाट वी हैव रिटन if we want to change their font, we can do that. If we want to change their font size, we can do that as well. Similarly, अगर हमको इस टेक्स्ट को बोल्ड करना हो या फिर हमें इस टेक्स्ट को इटैलिक करना हो इफ यू वांट टू अंडरलाइन दैट टेक्स्ट या फिर अगर हमको इसका बैकग्राउंड का कलर चेंज करना है और भी काफी सारे डिफरेंट फीचर्स हमको एक्सेल में देखने को मिल जाएंगे अभी इसी तरीके से लेट्स डू समथिंग यूनिक बेसिक let's get a table and we should call it as student marks table नाउ अब भले ही आपको लग रहा हो कि जो डेटा है वो दो अलग अलग रोज में है बट एक्चुअली नहीं sorry, दो अलग अलग कॉलम्स में एक्चुअली नहीं है डेटा अभी भी B2 में ही है और अभी ये डेटा लाइक दूसरे सेल पर ओवरलो हो रहा है अगर हम यहाँ पर कुछ भी टाइप करेंगे लेट्स से स्टूडेंट the data in the B2 is now completely hidden अगर हमको इस रो को लेट्स से ऑटो फिट करना है या फिर उस साइज में लाना है जहां पर इसके करंट एंट्रीज के बराबर की विड्थ उसके पास हो तो फिर हम क्या कर सकते हैं हम डायरेक्टली यहाँ बाउंड्री पे जाके जब ये वाला ऑप्शन आएगा इस पर डबल क्लिक कर देंगे इससे हमारी रो का विड्थ बढ़ गया नाउ देयर आर अदर ऑप्शंस एज वेल लेट्स से दिस इज the title that we want to put in is student marks table we can simply have different columns within itself to mark what features we want to underline. Let's say there is serial number or maybe the roll number. Then there is something like class, name, marks. There are the 4 columns. We can simply select these 4 columns of the row 2 and we can use the merge and center feature which is right here. By doing so, the four cells here are merged into a single one. अब यहाँ पर अगेन एक प्रॉब्लम है कि रोल नंबर जो है वो लाइक दो रोज दो कॉलम्स के अंदर आएगा अगर हमको प्रॉपर करना हो तो हम इसको भी ऑटो फिट कर सकते हैं सिंपली लाइक दैट दैट्स इट नाउ if we put in data, let's say the roll number of the first student is 1, the class is 12, the name is Rohan, and the marks is 78. You can see right here that the cells with the data as integers or the numbers has shifted its value towards the right side, while the cells with the input as the string or simply ABCD kind will shift itself towards the left side. This is a typical way that Excel handles data. However, if you want to change it, you can simply select whatever you want to change, use these different alignment options, and you will get the data in the way you wish to. That's it. अब ये tables actually सही नहीं लग रहे दिखने में. Like there is the header column or whatever. You can simply select it, press Ctrl plus T, click OK, and now this is a proper table with the column name. It just with the column name and the data that is input in it. Let's say if we select this, and actually if you want to increase the number of rows, we can do it simply like this. If we want to, like, this is how we can increase the number of columns and the number of rows respectively. Now, typically, a column will have this kind of name. If you haven't specified it yet, you can change it as well. Let's say we call it as pass, grade, and anything else. All right. Now, this column for me is useless. हम simply इसको select कर सकते हैं and we can use delete option to delete the entire column itself. अब हमको यहाँ पर अगर pass and the grade is B or maybe A or whatever, we can simply put it like this. This is how we typically create a table in the Excel. अब हमको टेबल को अगर डालना है and we don't want to select any cell or row or column, हमको शुरुआत से टेबल बनानी है and we will start from there. We can again do Control plus T. Now this will load the cell name where your cursor was. My table has headers, yes, and click OK. Now you can again drag it to get the number of columns and rows that you want right here. This is how we typically create a basic table. Now we will go towards the comparatively higher section. So now we are done with the basics of the Excel. और अब हम जाएंगे towards various shortcut keys that we have through our keyboard. अब किसी भी Excel के वो वर्क करते समय अगर हम हर समय अपना माउस यूज करें या फिर अगर हमको बार बार स्क्रॉल डाउन या स्क्रॉल राइट वगैरह करना पड़े तो काफी इनएफिशिएंट माना जाता है और हमारे पास उसके लिए काफी सारी डिफरेंट कीज हैं कि हमको ये चीज ना करनी पड़े. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वी हैव एरो कीज. ये हम यूज करते हैं टू मूव अराउंड द डिफरेंट सेल्स. We use the down arrow key to go down, up arrow key to go up, right one to go right, and left one to go left. Then there are keys like tab to go right, shift plus tab to go left, enter to go down, and shift plus enter to go up. उसके बाद हमारे पास एक काफी स्पेशल की है जिसको हम यूज यूज करते हैं वाया ऑल्ट। अब ऑल्ट यूज करने के बाद आपको काफी सारी डिफरेंट चीजें पता चल जाती हैं क्योंकि आप देख भी सकते हो यहाँ पर हर एक डिफरेंट options, for example, home, insert, drop, page layout, formulas, autosave, and many other places now have something written right below them. चलो उसको देखते हैं होता क्या है। अब हम Alt प्लस N दबाएंगे तो हम इंसर्ट में पहुंच जाएंगे। यहाँ पर अगेन हमारे पास काफी सारे डिफरेंट ऑप्शंस हैं। अगर हम Alt प्लस T दबाते हैं तो हमारे पास एक टेबल क्रिएट हो जाती है। फिर हमारे पास टेबल डिजाइन का ऑप्शन आता है, हम काफी चीजें हम शो कर सकते हैं। Now, except for that, if we use Alt plus W, we go towards the view, and there are different options there as well. The Alt is a key. After clicking which, you can get to see many options that the Alt plus commands offer. Now, if we want to, let's say, select a few cells, we can use Shift plus arrow keys. So if we use shift plus the right key, it will select the right row, so right column for that row. Again, we will do the same and it will select the right cell from that. If we use the shift plus down key, it will select the cell which is beneath it. Now, except for that, there are things like control plus down to basically drag us all the way down to the first cell which is filled with some kind of value. So let's say if we have in the D2 A, B, C, D written and we go at A2 and click Control plus right, it will take us to the first position where there is some kind of value written. Then we do it again. It will take us to the end of the page because there was no other value in that row. Now let's replicate this value down, then right, and also take a few part of it, copy it, and paste it right here. So what we will do is we will use Control plus arrow commands from this position, which is A2. If we use the Control plus right key for the first time, it will take us to D2. अब हम फिर से कंट्रोल प्लस राइट की अगर यूज करेंगे तो हमको H2 पे लेके जाएगा जो कि बॉर्डर है फॉर दिस कंटिन्यूअस एंट्री। Then if we again go to H2 and we use control plus Z key, it will take us to J2 because उसके बीच में एक स्पेस है जहां पर कुछ भी नहीं लिखा हुआ। Then if we do this again, it will take us to L2. Going, if you want to go down, you can use control plus down key to go towards the last location which has a continued value written in that column. If we use it again, it will take us directly towards the end of the page. Now, there are also things like control plus shift plus right key. अब इससे हमारे पास जो भी वैल्यू हमको सिलेक्ट करनी है फॉर द कंटिन्यूड रो will be selected. And if we use after it control plus shift plus down, it will select the rows. Let's say we go here and use control plus shift plus down key, and it will select the rows in the column H which has value in its continuous width. Alright. अब ये वैल्यू डिफरेंट भी हो सकते हैं जो ही नहीं कि सेम ही हो। X, Y, Z, run of P. This will work still the same. Except for arrow keys, there are things like Control plus A, which will select all the entries within this uh, block because all these cells have some kind of value in it. If we go here and use Control plus A, it will select these ones. Similarly, if we use Control plus space, it will select the column, while if we use Control plus uh, Shift plus space, it will select the entire workbook. If we go here and we use the same, it will select again the block which was filled. Then there is Shift plus space. It will select the entire row for here as well. अब हम कंट्रोल दबा के अगर लेट्स से हम यहाँ पर है, हम कंट्रोल दबा के क्लिक करते हैं किसी दूसरे सेल पे, देन वी कैन सेलेक्ट सॉरी शिफ्ट दबा के अगर हम क्लिक करते हैं किसी दूसरे सेल पे, वी कैन सेलेक्ट द एंटायर रेंज in one click. Then if you use control plus that the same click, we can basically select the non-adjacent cells, whichever we wish to do so. If we want to edit selected or maybe the active cell, we can use F2 to edit it. And it's done. Then if we want to, let's say we want to delete a cell, we can use the delete button directly, or we can use the space button, but it will still be in that cell and we can simply type it without selecting it again. Now there are options like Control plus Z to undo a task that we have already done. Then there is Control plus Y to redo it. If we want to copy, we can basically select this, use Control plus C, and the part is copied to be pasted. If we want to cut it though, we can use Control plus X to cut this part and paste it somewhere else. Control plus V is used for pasting. Now, for the three options, bold, italic and underline, इनके लिए भी काफी सारे different options होते हैं, हम जिससे format कर सकते हैं किसी भी place को. For example, if we select N21, we can use Control plus V to bold the text, Control plus I to use the italic, and Control plus U to underline it. There are many different shortcuts that you can explore. To know more about these shortcuts, you can we will provide you a sheet with all the shortcuts in the given below description, which you can directly use and download from. Now, with that done, let's go towards the next part. Now, with the shortcuts done, अब हम जाएंगे towards our next section, which will be sorting and filtering. अब हम किसी भी डेटा को सॉर्ट और फिल्टर कैसे कर सकते हैं वो हम समझने वाले हैं एग्जैक्टली ये चीजें होती क्या है वो भी हम यहाँ पर समझेंगे सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड अ फ्यू थिंग्स हम इस टेबल का यूज करेंगे ये एक प्रीमेड टेबल है हम इसके ऊपर ही अपने सॉर्ट फिल्टर और बाकी सारे जो भी कमांड्स का आपको यूज करना है वो हम यहाँ पर करेंगे सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल लेट्स गो टुवर्ड्स सॉर्टिंग अब हम सॉर्ट करते कैसे हम किसी भी डेटा को normally इस तरीके से sort कर सकते हैं. For example, we want to sort it with the type of with respect to salary. We will simply go here, select smallest to largest, and the smallest salary will come up, while the largest will go down. इस तरीके से हम simply sort कर सकते हैं. But if we want to sort, let's say with the help of color, we will have a different process for that. We will have to go towards data. यहाँ पर जाने के बाद हमें एक ऑप्शन मिलेगा जो कि है इस तरीके से सॉर्ट। हम जो यहाँ पर क्लिक करेंगे हमारे पास इस तरीके का एक पॉपअप आएगा। हम यहाँ पर सेलेक्ट करेंगे अपने कॉलम को विच इज फॉर्म मेथड, then we will go by cell color. There's options like font color or conditional formatting icon and cell values as well, but we will go with cell color. Then we have to use it in order of yellow to be on top, which is UPI should be at the very top. We click OK. UPI is at top. UPI is now sorted. However, the rest is not. अब उसके लिए हमें क्या करना होगा? हम बेसिकली यहाँ जाएंगे, ऐड लेवल पे क्लिक करेंगे, अगेन वी विल गो टुवर्ड्स द मेथड, देन we will select cell color, we will use green and we will go at the bottom. Okay, now green is at the bottom. अब उसके बाद हम क्या करते हैं? हमारे पास अभी ऑरेंज और ब्लू बचा हुआ, अगेन ऐड करो, मेथड, cell color, then we now will select orange and on top it will be. Now orange is right after yellow. Yellow अभी भी ऊपर क्यों है, on top पे क्यों है? Reason is yellow is taken as the point के base पे बाकी सारी values जाएंगी because it's the first one that we have entered. Alright, अगर हम yellow की जगह orange enter करें तो orange टॉप पे होता, अगर हम सबसे पहले enter करते तो this is how we basically sort the colors. Now again, we can sort the name simply by sort A to Z, then the date by oldest to newest, and any other thing like that. It's pretty simple for him. Now, let's go towards filtering. अब filtering और sorting में फर्क क्या होता है? Sorting में हमारे पास जो डेटा है वो एज इट इज रहेगा, बट हमारे पास एक कंडीशन के बेस पे उसको असेंडिंग या डिसेंडिंग ऑर्डर में या फिर ग्रुप करेंगे या फिर कुछ भी और ऑप्शंस। ऑलराइट, बट फिल्टरिंग में क्या होगा, हम सिर्फ वही डेटा देखते हैं जो हमारे लिए नेसेसरी है या फिर हमको जिसकी नीड है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर हमको सिर्फ वो डेटा देखना है जहां पर कैश के थ्रू ट्रांजेक्शन हुई है सैलरी की, then we will go here, we will select all, then we will simply click on cash and we will click on OK. हमको सिर्फ वही वैल्यू दिखेंगी जहां पर जो पेमेंट हुई है वो कैश के थ्रू हुई है। We can apply sort over this as well and it will be sorted. It won't affect the filter at all. It will work as per the filter. अब हमको लेट्स से कार्ड और कैश दोनों की पेमेंट देगी तो हम सीधा इस तरीके से कर सकते हैं। अगेन इट इज सॉर्टेड and yellow, sorry, cash and card are the all data that we have here. Simply इसको हटाना हो, select all पे click कर दो and it's done. Now the next point to know is that what if we want to filter the data on the basis of it is above a certain value or it is below a certain value or something like that. अब हम यहाँ पर जाके अगर लेट्स से 90,000 डेटा और 90,000 रुपीज से ऊपर की जितनी भी सेटिंग को देखनी है, हम सिंपली जाके यहाँ सिलेक्ट कॉल को अनसेलेक्ट करके लाइक 90,000 से ऊपर की जो भी वैल्यूज हैं उसको सिलेक्ट कर सकते हैं, बट इट विल बी वेरी इनएफिशिएंट स्पेशली फॉर थाउजेंड्स ऑफ रोज ऑफ डेटा। तो हम यहाँ पर करें क्या, हम अगेन यहाँ पर जाएंगे, नंबर फिल्टर पे क्लिक करेंगे, greater than or equal to or greater than whatever you want to use, or top 10, above average, below average, these kind of filters that you have here. We will click on greater than or equal to and we will put the value of 90,000. Then okay, अब हमको जो वैल्यूज दिख रही है यहाँ पर ये वो है जो कि 90,000 से above है, and that's how we sort the numbers. We can do similarly for the serial number as well. And as for the date, we have date filters, which is before, after, tomorrow, and others. You can explore it and do different queries as per this. Similarly, there is for the names, which is for text filter, and for methods, we have already told you. Now, let's go to our next section, which will be about formatting and how to basically use it. So, formatting exactly होती क्या? फॉर्मेटिंग में हम किसी भी स्पेसिफिक डेटा या फिर एक जनरल डेटा को फॉर्मेट करते हैं सो दैट इट्स अपीयरेंस कैन चेंज. अब हम इसको करते क्यों? जब हमारे पास डेटा आता है तो जरूरी नहीं है, लेट्स से अगर हम डेट का डेटा, तो जरूरी नहीं है वो इस फॉर्म में हो जो कि हमको चाहिए. हो सकता है वो लिखा हो एज 20 Jan 2025, or it can be written as 1/1/25 and many other forms. अब हमारे लिए भले ही ये सेंस बना रहा हो एज अ नॉर्मल ह्यूमन, बट कंप्यूटर के लिए कि दोनों डेटा अलग है. दे आर नॉट सेम. ऑलराइट, सो व्हाट वी नीड टू डू इज वी हैव टू फॉर्मेट इट. सबसे पहले बेसिक फॉर्मेटिंग जिसके बारे में पहले ही बात की थी. हम सब कुछ सेलेक्ट कर लिए, हमको इन सबका साइज बढ़ाना है या फिर इन सबका हमको बेसिकली फॉन्ट टाइप चेंज करना है, तो वो सब हमारे बेसिक फॉर्मेटिंग में आता है. लेकिन अब हमको क्या करना है, हमको फॉर्मेट करना है लेट्स से डेट को. तो हम डेट्स को सिलेक्ट करेंगे जो भी हमको फॉर्मेट करना हो. देन वी विल डू दिस. वी विल simply go towards the format. We can do many things here. For example, format cells. It is a date type which can even be seen right here. Say date type, we can change its type to, let's say, look like this, or and either way. Again, there are many basic formats. Let's say to convert it into short data, to convert it to long data, and all that. Similarly, अगर सैलरी है, हम सैलरी और सिलेक्ट करते हैं और हम यहाँ पर लेट्स से जीरोस इनको ऐड करना है फिर डेसिमल, we can do that. Or we can simply change this rupee into uh, let's say dollar, or maybe the euro, and all these are part of formatting. Basically आप इसके थ्रू अपने डेटा को जनरलाइज करते हो for the computer to see and understand, and it will help you to clean all that mess that you will get in your data. Except for that, अब हम देखने जा रहे हैं एक्सेल के अंदर का वन ऑफ द वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फीचर विच इज ऑटोफिल. अब ऑटोफिल किस तरह से काम करता है? ऑटोफिल, आप फॉर एग्जांपल अगर ये आपने वैल्यू सेलेक्ट कर रखी है, अगर आप सीधा जाके इसको ड्रैग करोगे तो वो उसको रिपीट करेगा, विच इज नॉट व्हाट वी वांट. It's a serial number. It should go in a proper order. First, we will need to solve what is called this. Yeah. So it's a serial number, and we want it to be better, and it should be in a proper series form. What we can do here is we can select data to make it a pattern, multiple rows basically, and then we will drag it further. Now it's going to follow the pattern that is given as per the selected data. उसके अलावा अगर आपको कुछ और तरीका यूज करना है तो उसका कंट्रोल दबा के देन इसको ड्रैग करेंगे एंड इट विल डू द सिमिलर टास्क. फॉर द डेट एज वेल, we can do something like that, and it will continue on. एज यू कैन सी दैट हियर जनवरी में 31 डेज होते हैं और उसके बाद का डेटा हमारे पास चेंज हो रहा है टू February. So it will give us this kind of hashtag as the only input. However, when we hover over it, we can see the data that is actually inside it. हम इसके लिए करेंगे क्या? हम simply इस पूरे को select कर सकते हैं, then we will format it and change it to whatever form we wish it to have. अब हमारे पास कंप्लीट हो चुका है sorting, filtering, then there was autofill, formatting as well. अब हमको देखना है डेटा को कैसे सेपरेट करते हैं बेस्ड ऑन डिलिमिटर्स. अब डिलिमिटर होते क्या है? डिलिमिटर यू कैन take it as a comma between two values. The comma will be delimiter. The space can also act as a delimiter. अब let's say we take a value. We take Rohan Jan as a value. Rohan Jan. अब यहाँ पर हम चाहते हैं कि जो फर्स्ट नेम है और लास्ट नेम है ये अलग अलग हो, जैसे कि यहाँ तक हमारे पास है. अब हम इसके लिए करेंगे क्या? We can simply go towards data, then we will click on text to column. हम यहाँ पर सेट करेंगे डिलिमिटेड को, जो कि ऑटोमेटिकली सेलेक्टेड आता है. Then we will select the space and then click next and then we finish it. Now the first name and last name are separate. You can do similarly for let's say 12, 32, 41. Then let's say we give space, then 63. This is the data that we have. हमको इसको different rows में shift करना है. We will again click on text to column. Then we will click on delimited. Then next. उसका बाद space और comma दोनों select करेंगे and click on next and at last finish. Now these all are in different columns. This is how we use the text to column feature of Excel to basically clear out the delimiter and divide data into different columns. Alright everyone, so we are now at the final part of our video. We will get to know about the different functions that we use in Excel and how to actually work with them. What does these different functions help us in doing and when to use them is what we are going to learn from this point on. So first of all, we will be using different data sets, which are basically synthetic data sets that I have created, and we will be using them to do the task that we have to do, which is learning about the functions. So first of all, let's go towards the very first formula that we have to know. And that formula is the sum formula. So the sum formula is used to give us the sum of all the integers or the numbers that are present in a range. So how do we use it? We use it something like this. We use equal to, then we write sum, and now in the brackets we will tell about the range. Now let's say we have to find the sum of all the quantity sold. So we will put in the range about the quantity column of the table and we click on enter. Now this is the total quantity of products sold. Now the special thing about it is that if we change a value here, let's say we change it to 5, the value of the sum will change automatically. We change it to 2, the value changes again. It will always work. The next formula that we have to know is the average. Average, as the name suggests, tells us about the average of a range of value that we have provided to the function. How does it work? It basically is something like this. It tells the sum of the whatever value or column that we have given it, and then it divides it by the number of rows it took for that sum. Now, a simple way to do so is using the function, which is equal to average. Then in brackets, we let's say type this range is the unit price. This will give us the average price of the order. This is what we have got as the answer. Now let's go towards the next formula. This formula will be about the maximum within any range. So max formula is what we are going to go through. To do so, we will use equal to max. Then within the brackets, let's say we have to find the maximum of unit price in an order. This is the maximum price of any unit in the orders given here. The next one is, of course, minimum. The minimum works in exactly the opposite way. It is used to find the minimum of, let's say, the unit price in any of these orders within the range. So, as you could have already imagined, we use equal to min and then we select the range and we click enter. This is the minimum price that there is of any unit. The next one will be the product function. What does this do? It tells us the multiply of any two numbers or maybe multiple numbers within a range at a time. However, the problem here is that you can either go in a singular row or in a singular column finding the multiple. It won't work in a range of multiple rows and columns together. So the formula here equal to product. Now what we are finding the product for? We will need to find the revenue of any one order. Let's say we take the order ID 1001. So we put it this as the range and we click on enter. So this is the supposed product of the quantity and unit price and basically what the order was supposed to cost before the discount. Now the next one will be of course for the discount. Now since we are using the percentage as our discount like 10% discount, the value might as well come in a form of float values which are basically with decimal, and these decimals can sometime get up to tens or twenties or maybe infinite number of times it can replicate itself. Let's say we divide 10 by 3, so it will replicate continuously. For that we use a round function, so it will basically limit the number of digits after the decimal to a certain extent which is provided. How to use it? Equal to round. Now we have the number of products which is h3, which is in h3 which is 2. Now we multiply this by 1 minus i3, sorry, not i3, it will be j3. Wait, let's just redo. So we put in equal to round, then we use I3 as the price of this unit or this particular unit. All right. And then we multiply it by 1 minus J3 by 100, which is for the percentage of the discount that we have got. Sorry, this is the discounted price for the discounted price. All right. And once we are done with it, we basically use comma and limit it, let's say for two decimal places, we use 2 and then we click enter. This is the round figure of the discounted price that we will get. Let's say we use here 3% instead. Now this will be how it will look. If we convert it to 17, it will look something like this. And if we convert this to 6342, it will reach two decimal places and then it will stop. Here's how the round function works. Now let's go towards the conditionals now. So for the conditionals, we will use the sum if for the very first one to tell the total cost of the laptop quantity that we have sold. All right. So what we will do is that we will use for the sum if we will use equal to sum if, and after it we will put in the range. Now the range will be something like this. For here to here, we are looking for laptop as our product, and then what we want the sum for will be from the quantity. All right, for total laptop quantities that we have sold. So we will take the range as from this. Once we are done, we simply click enter, and this is the amount of laptop that we have sold, which is the sum of 2, 1, and 3, which gives out 6. Let's say we change it to 7, it will give out 10. If we change any other value, let's say we change the value for the keyboard to 8, it won't change. With this done, we will use the next function as countif, and we will count the customers from, let's say, the Delhi city itself. So we will use the formula equal to countif, then in brackets we put in the cities range, city as the range, and after the comma we will put in what value do we have to count. Now this will give the number of customers from the Delhi in this table. This is the second conditional that we have visited. Now the next function that we will be using will be average if. Now the average if, as previously you must have understand, will give the average for, let's say, the laptop price only for the laptop, not for the all the products, only for laptop itself. So we will use average if, and for the formula we use equal to average if, then in the brackets we put in the products. After it, what we have to find will be for the laptops, right? So we'll put in laptop as the product that we have to find, and we will need the average for the unit price, right? So let's select the unit price, close the bracket, and select enter. This is the overall value. Now we haven't used any round function here. So the value was supposed to go multiple six, like infinite number of six, but Excel stops it at four as the maximum number of values after decimal. This is, let's say, a counter of Excel towards this infinite value problem. Now we have already learned about some if. Let's go towards some ifs. Some ifs. So this is used to basically tell the sum of any, let's say, quantity of by the help of two conditionals or maybe multiple conditionals at a time. All right. So let's say we will have to find the laptop quantity sold in the Delhi itself. So we will use the formula equal to sum ifs, then in bracket we will use the quantity. After comma we go towards, let's say, city was Delhi, right? So we select the range for the city, then again a comma, there will we will put in Delhi as our city. Again after comma we put in the range for the product that we have sold, and the product will be laptop. And we close it here. Once click on enter, you will know the number of laptops sold in the Delhi itself. Now let's go towards the date functions. All right. So what date functions do is basically tell us about different points that we need to know. Let's say we want to know the day of that particular date, or the month, or the year, or maybe any other function. There are many different kinds of it. So what we will do is that, let's say we go here and we find the year of any date. Now here we write equal to year, and in bracket, let's say we write for this, and click enter. This is 2026. The year will be 2026. Similarly, for the month, it will be like equal to month. Then when we click here, it will give us 1, which is for the January. Let's go for the day now. Day equal to day, and again choosing same, it will give us 2, which is the date, 2nd Jan. The next function will be text function. What it does can be seen through this example. Let's say we write equal to text, then in brackets we select the same date again, and after comma we give a string. Let's say this is the string that we have given. On clicking enter, it will give us the answer in the form of a string, which is the January. Now, there are left and right functions as well. What it does is that it slices a string into as per the given constraint. So let's say here we write equal to left and we select Rohan as the name, and after comma we give 3 and we close the brackets. It will give ROH as the value, and similarly for the right one we use equal to right, and then again we select this and we put on 2 this time and close the value. It will give AN as the value, the answer that we will receive. Similarly for a string, if we want to find the length of the string, we can use the len function. It can be seen something like this, equal to len, then let's say we put in again the same and we click enter. It is a 5-lettered word, so the length will be 5. The next function that we will cover will be upper. Upper basically changes the case of the string to the uppercase. Equal to upper, select this, sorry, equal to upper, then in brackets we select this and we click enter. Similarly, there is a proper function. We let's say first convert this into capital. So electronics. Then with the proper function, what we can do is that we can convert it into a proper string with the first letter as the capital one, while the rest are in small case or lower case. This is how a proper string should be. So we write equal to proper, then we select this and click enter. This is how we will get the answer. Let's just change it back to the proper form. Alright, now let's say we have to concatenate two different strings to form a single string. How can we do that? So for doing so, we will use concat as our function, which is the short form for concatenate. Now the function is something like this. concat, then in bracket, let's say we put in Rohan, then we do comma, and then we write a string. Let's say we write something like this, and at last we select another string, which is this, and we click enter. This is the answer that we will get from concatenating it. So I guess this is enough for this table. Let's move on to the second table now. And for this table, we will use mainly the logical functions. How do they work? We basically put in a logic. Let's say if a number is greater than this, then it will be the output will be this, else the output will be something else. So without any waste, let's get right into it. So the first function that we will use will be the if function. So for that, we use equal to if, then in brackets, if let's say this is greater than uh, 5,000, so 50,000, then it will give high as the answer, else it will give low as the output. And since it's 45,000, which is less than 50,000, we will get the answer as low. Similarly, if we put in the formula, let's say equal to if this, which is F3, is greater than equal to 2, then it's going to be a senior, else the answer should be a junior. Click enter, and the answer will be senior since it's equal to 2 at least. If it will be greater than it, let's say we put in 7, it will still be a senior. And if we put in the value as 1, it will become a junior. Now, let's go towards a little complex uh, function, which is ifs. Let's take the formula as equal to ifs G3 equal to 5, then excellent, uh, again G3 equal to 4, then it will be good. Then let's say we write true. At last, we use the string average. And we close the bracket. Now on clicking enter, we will get answer as good. That's because the if function is used to basically go through multiple if conditions at the same time and select the one which comes out to be true. All right. So what it works is that how it works is that so for this function, if the G3 was 5, then it will get the answer as excellent. If G3 is 4, which is the rating, is 4, then the answer will be good. And for any other value, it will be average. So if we use this formula, here again, and we change G3 to G7 and we click enter, it will be good. Sorry, my mistake. G7. It will be average. That's because the G7 is is 3, which is less than 5 and 4 both, but there is a value, and for that the average will execute. Now let's use the AND function. Let's put in the function equal to AND. Let's say we take E3 greater than, again, 50,000. Oh, greater than 50,000, and we use the comma for F3 greater than 3, and click enter. That will give false. Why is it false? So basically, it will check through the two conditions, which is E3 greater than 50,000, which it is not, and it will go through the F3 and check if it is greater than 3, which is again no. So the false and false will give a false. Now let's go towards this one. We use the same formula here again. We put in the formula this and then change the F3 to F4 and E3 to E4, and we click enter. It will be true. That's because the salary is greater than 50,000 and the experience is greater than 3 years. So it will give the answer as true and true, which is true. However, if we use this uh, employee ID 105, then what we will get? So let's use the same formula again and put it here. Now, this time we use this as the very first value, which is E7. E7, and then we go here and we again write F7. Now, if we click on enter, we will get false. Why is it? Because the first condition is giving true, which is the salary is greater than 50,000, that's for sure. But the experience has to be greater than 3, which here it is not. So that will be false. So true and false will give a false. And similarly, false and true will also give a false. This is how AND works. It's like a logical operator. Similarly, you can do an OR function as well. So let's use OR as equal to, or then in brackets, we do this equal to IT or the same as HR, and we click enter, it will give true. That's because the first condition might be false, but the second condition comes out to be true. So the answer will be true. Again, if and either one is true, then the answer will come out to be true. Either the first one is true or the second one is true or both are true. The answer will be true. And if both are false, then only the answer will come out to be false. All the conditions have to be false to get the answer as false here. Now use the not function, which is another one of these logical functions. For this, we put in equal to not, then in brackets, we do, let's say, this rating as less than 4, and we click enter. It is still giving out true, even though it is not less than 4, it's actually equal to 4. That's because the not function is used to reverse the output that we will get. Now, let's go towards the final dataset. In this dataset, we will basically do only a few basic statistical problems. So first of all, let's find the average again equal to, not here, equal to average. However, this time we put in a range which is from the D3 to the F7, and this will come out 75.1333. And why is that? That's because the average marks over the three subjects is this. It basically has added all the values in all these cells and divided it by 15, the total number of cells. Now similarly, we can use max function as well over this range again, and sorry, we will use max function as well over this range again to get 95, which is the maximum marks obtained in any of the subjects. Similarly, there is a min function as well. We will skip it and then go to the large function. Large function works something like this. Equal to large, then in brackets, we put in the same range, and after comma, we give 2. So what this function will do, it will give me the second highest value in the entire range. Similarly, we can simply change this to, let's say, 6, and will give me the sixth highest value from this range. Then, of course, since there is large, there is also a small function. So the small function will give you the from the lowest end. All right. So if we put the same range again and we put 2 here, it will give me the second lowest value here, which is 52, right after 45. The next one will be the median function. Equal to median, then we put in the range. It will give us the median of the value, which is the value at the very middle of, let's say we put all these value in a row, then the value at the very middle of that row will be the median, and it is 75. Let's go towards the next function now. The next function will be count function. Equal to count, then we put in the range again and click enter. There are total 15 number of cells here, so the range will be 15 as well. Let's combine two different functions now. So let's go with equal to if, then in brackets, let's say average of this range is greater than or equal to 40, then the answer will be pass, or else it will be fail. Now we click enter, the answer will be pass because the average is of course greater than 40. There are many different functions in the Excel. You should go through every single one of them. You can use different AI chatbots for getting the answer for all the functions and practice them by yourself. Only by practicing them by yourself will you be able to understand them and work over them. The last function that we are going to practice here will be the index function, which is equal to index, then in brackets, let's say let's say we take the range as something like this, and we want the value at, let's say, index 3. On clicking enter, we will get Arjun. This is at the third row of this column. So this will be the value here. Similarly, if we want to get, let's say, equal to index, and then we put on this row, this column, and we use 4. 60 will be our answer because it's the fourth row for this column. Similarly, there are many other functions for the index itself. You should practice all the different ways you can practice any function for, let's say, index. If we do equal to index and we put in, let's say, the range of here to here, and then we do 1 comma 1, which is the row number as 1 and the column number as 1, then the answer that we will get will be Rohan because it's in the row 1 and column 1 for this range. Now that we are done with this all formulas, the today's video can end here. In this video, we have learned about all the different formulas, all the basics, the different ways to use sort and filter functions, and many other things as well. In the next video, we will do a basic project and learn a few advanced things about the Excel, which are, let's say, the lookup table or the pivot table. Then there are graphs as well. There are many other things in the Excel that we can do. So in the next video, we will go towards that. And with that said, thank you for watching the video. Goodbye.